Okay, the CFP, the playoff. What do we got going on here this weekend? This is really what it boils down to, folks. If the favorites this weekend in conference championship games win, what you're going to see, at least in my estimation, is Georgia go to the playoff, Michigan go to the playoff, Cincinnati go to the playoff, and Oklahoma State go to the playoff. Those are the four teams that are favored. Now, in this college football year, do we really expect everybody that's favored to win? No. I think last week we saw Wisconsin lose. We saw Ohio State lose. We saw Alabama basically pull a rabbit out of their hat. They're late in the Iron Bowl against Auburn, so probably not. The one that's interesting is Notre Dame, because at 11-1, their only losses to Cincinnati, I think that they have a shot at the playoff without a coach. Brian Kelly, hired to be the new head coach for LSU. I mean, this is fascinating, folks. I still think that Notre Dame is alive for a playoff spot, and now Brian Kelly goes and he's going to be the new head coach for the LSU Tigers. This is a guy that has been wildly successful at Notre Dame. He's Notre Dame's all-time leader as far as wins, and he has been to the playoff. He took them to a national championship game. Their recent success of 10-win seasons, double-digit win seasons, has been unprecedented in their history, and it's one of the more rich histories in all of college football. But Brian Kelly, gets caught up in what is the modern-day coaching carousel. LSU reportedly giving him 9 figures, $100 million. I know a lot of people are going to take exception with the way that Brian Kelly left Notre Dame, or even the way that Lincoln Riley left Oklahoma. But folks, that's the nature of the sport. I talked about it a little earlier with Lincoln Riley. The structure of college football incentivizes every single entity within college football, whether it's a player, a coach, a program, or a conference, to operate in their own best interest. Brian Kelly didn't have any choice because of the way that the recruiting calendar is set up. If he was going to take this opportunity and take 9 figures, $100 million, then he had to do it right now, even before we know what the outcome of the season is going to be with Notre Dame, who's still in line for a potential playoff berth. So the problem is not with Brian Kelly, it's with the structure of the sport. I don't think that the problem is with Lincoln Riley, it's with the structure of the sport. We need to change the calendar in college football. I will be arguing that in the offseason. This is a calendar that can help protect players and protect coaches from things like we've seen in the last couple of days. So Brian Kelly heads to LSU, Lincoln Riley heads to USC, Notre Dame's still alive in the playoff, Oklahoma State still alive in the playoff, and it should be a wild and fantastic week of conference championship games. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here, College Football on Fox.